Cruise Combat is a proud sponsor of the Combat Jiu-Jitsu 2020 Lightweight World Championships. Our custom high-end performance apparel is worn by combat athletes around the world. With performance pieces designed to last a lifetime, our graphics never fade, crack, or peel. Cruise Combat apparel isn't just made for the mat. Our lifestyle line features dozens of unique designs printed on the softest, most durable fabric out there. And we do custom designs, any quantity, big or small. Order your Cruise Combat gear today.
Zach Meslani now making his way to the stage. Meslani in the black and white. Expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Veritable dream team of killers.
Him and JM
Yes, sir.
holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Great technique. He's
a beast. He's a savage.
excellent coaches, I have to say. Great guys, JM and Zach.
That's a beautiful.
Great guys, JM and Zach.
Veritable dream team of killers.
He's a beast. He's a savage.
Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem. That's 10th Planet Bethlehem. It's a
Great technique. He's
it's 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Hey yo, Big Uncle Zach back up in that ass. It's Zach's Corner podcast. That mic sounds good, dude. If I do this into your ear, hopefully you're listening to this at 6:30 in the morning, stuck on traffic on 22, drinking your piece of shit Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Right in your ear hole, motherfucker. Just kidding. I'm fired up. What's up, guys? Big Uncle Zach's back. Sorry for cursing a million times. But yeah, man, I'm just running shop here over at Finishers MMA HQ. We got Mike on the wheels of steel over there, throwing down. Me and him constantly having conversations all week about how stupid everyone else is. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But no, there's just, man, it's hard. Like, they don't tell you running a business is so in depth, right? And trying to, do things for yourself, especially obviously you guys know I just had a son, so that's really busy with that, and it's pretty crazy just doing all the stuff that I need to do for the business and then trying to juggle family life and everything. And the guys over here that work here, Andrew, Jimbo, the whole nine, these guys are the man, they're killing it. But man, one thing we're dealing with now is we're getting so big, it's hard to control everybody. It's hard to keep an eye on every single person. It's tough because there's so many people that are, just gung-ho about training, and beginners want to get into advanced class. That's the thing we're dealing with now. Like, a lot of beginners are coming to advanced class, and I totally made advanced class. We just made it like you have to be a blue belt and up to be able to come to it, because there's just too many people jumping in, and they don't know the foundations of grappling. Can they hang in a class? Yeah, sure, they can hang, but they're not doing enough to really push us forward. And advanced class is it's exactly what it's for, advanced. It's not for beginners. Like, oh, you've been training a month? You're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about if you come to that class. It's basically like you're walking into you're learning another language, and you're not going to be able to do it because, I can't even coach you. Even the guys with the kick, I was just telling all of our guys, all of our instructors, and all of our, kickboxing coaches and MMA coaches and stuff, like, listen, the rain, it's up to you guys. I'm not here 24/7. So it's up to you guys to kind of like police the place. Ream dudes, kick them out of shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'd rather lose a student and have someone be pissed off at us than have one of my guys get injured because they're training with some fucking yokel who shouldn't even be in that class, and then, that type of guy who jumps in a class like that, he's going to quit eventually anyways, when he just decides to buy, a new car or something, be like, oh, I can't train anymore. I got a new car, or I got a girlfriend or something. It's like, whatever, dude, you shouldn't have even been in that class in the first place. So we're really, I'm getting the guys on that big time. Like, that's one way we keep the place, good. We keep it like, solid. We keep it safe also. Speaking of being safe, man, how about all that shit that's going on in the jiu-jitsu community? Have you seen, obviously, Mike, I think we talked about it a little bit. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I follow it just from, hold on, let me fix this mic, just from the 10th Planet guys and all that. And for me to be seeing and hearing that outside of the little circle, it's making some pretty big waves.
Yeah. And I hear they have like investigative journalists looking into it and stuff like that. I'm not going to go in all the details. Like, if you really want to know, take 2 seconds and look into it if you want. But I will name names though. Cyborg and Wagner Rocha. They didn't necessarily do something dastardly themselves. Like, it wasn't the specifically that they did it, but the people who were they with, or the people who they were like harboring, if you will, did some really bad, nasty stuff, disgusting stuff. And, stuff that someone that has to deal with that may never be able to come back from. It might be something that they might have to deal with. Like, they always say people are really screwed up from childhood trauma that they might not even know about. Well, here's something that you're not a child. You are going to remember being, sexually assaulted, or you are going to remember being, raped. I didn't even want to say it, but you will remember that if you're a female, or if you're a little kid and you do something to a little kid, man, there's no questions asked, dude. I would just, now having a son, if I had a daughter and someone touched my daughter, I'd shoot him. You know what I mean? I'd go into jail for just beating the shit out of them. So, and I love seeing the back and forth and seeing people who want to, they just look up to some of these guys just because they're a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu. They think, oh, this guy is so smart and this guy is whatever. Like, I've always known Wagner Rocha was an asshole. I've always known Cyborg, because you know why I could tell, Mike? Because the guys who are more holier than now, they're like, oh, Jesus, let me explain to you, my brother, Jesus this and Jesus that. And look, I'm religious, you know what I mean? But dude, like, really watch the guys who are so honorable. The most honorable guys are usually the biggest piece of shits in their own personal life. And yes, shots fired. And sure, are they going to try to kill me? Probably when I see them at ADCC, maybe. But I don't even care, dude, because I'm not even saying anything that's not true, and I did look on our Instagram because I was getting deep into it too. It's like the Epstein shit, where like, they're just so brazen and so cocky about it that they think they can get away with it. Like, they think that they could just go out there and say, oh, well, I have thousands of Instagram followers and I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu and I'm a competitor and I used to fight MMA. So, so what, dude? You're a piece of shit. That doesn't mean anything. Those guys, to me, dude, are scumbags. And, the people who are defending them are also scumbags. So, we'll leave it at that. I feel bad for everybody that's been affected by this shit, but I am really glad that, I'm against cancel culture. Like, if you said something, like something borderline racist as a joke on Twitter in like 1996, when was Twitter? I don't even know. But like, times were different, man. Like, people did some stuff back in the day that, is not kosher now. Like, movies were made back in the day, like Tropic Thunder. What do you think if Tropic Thunder came out today with a guy doing blackface? They always bring that one.
They wouldn't let it happen.
They said retard a million times. Yeah, they wouldn't let it happen. Those guys would be, fucking. They would take them to the cleaners for it, So, if you did something like that, like you said something bad or you did something stupid, I could see you, getting a second chance. But if you, because I'm against cancel culture and I don't think that's good, and, you should have the right to free speech. But when you mess with a kid or a female like that, or someone who just can't be helped, and even worse, I think the worst part about it is that it's not that they didn't just go after people like that, but they were grooming them since they were little kids, or they were just, they're going after people who are the most vulnerable. And to me, you're a pussy if you do that. I'm sorry. Like, that's the worst. That's like the guys, like, you'll see him in jiu-jitsu class, like the guy who's only going with people that are lighter than him and younger than him and a kid or whatever, because they don't want to get their ass beat because their ego is so far out of check. And that's why guys, like, I feel like, Wagner Rocha and Cyborg, their egos are so goddamn out of check. It's not even funny. Those guys are the dudes where, like, they'll do nothing for an entire match and then run away the entire time, and then they'll win by like a decision or some bullshit thing, and they'll be like, it's like, why did you even come to the match, dude? Like, the match against Wagner and Thor, what a joke, dude. That was a waste of time. Wagner just ran away the whole time. Like, it's because their ego is just so far gone. Like, I'll just go in there and go mano y mano. Let's see who wins. It's submission only, dog. If we were playing a points game, and you're playing the points, I understand. But we're going sub only, and this dude's running away the whole time. It's just like, dude, you know what, man? It's just corny to me. It's like, You know, and there's a lot of guys like that. Why don't we ever want to see who the best is straight up? You know, like Grace. The only way someone like, you know, I want to see if Grace is going to lose to like Bastos or Jessica Khan or any of these girls, they better submit her. They better beat her clearly. Because Grace is coming. She's trying to get a clinch. She's trying to get a hold of him. Thor, how about, did you watch any of that Polaris or whatever the hell you call it? Thor was over in the UK with the Team USA and they won. It was 4 hours of nothing happening for like maybe 2 or 3 good moves. Like Team USA killed it. But like, dude, they were just running away the whole time. Like literally I was like, okay. And I even said it before. I was like, please let us see the match between Thor and the Grape Ape or whatever the guy's name is from the UK, because he's like a big weightlifter guy, 2 big, strong, you know, fucking blokes going at it. And guess what? Thor went in there and he told me he was talking shit at the guy the whole time. The dude was running away from him. And you could see clearly Thor would grab his leg, the guy would dive out of bounds and stuff. It was like, and then afterwards, he comes up to Thor and Thor called him, I think Thor called him a pussy or whatever for running away. And the guy was like, hey, I'm just doing what I have to do. What? Dude, get out of here, man. Take a fucking hike, dude. Don't be in jiu-jitsu then, man. You're ruining the sport. Literally, guys like Wagner Rocha are ruining the sport because you're not going to see guys go after it. That's the problem. Well, let's just hold. Let's just run. Let's just, you know, because you can't lose. They can't lose legitimately because if they do, like, it's like, I don't know why it's so bad, you know? I just don't get that. So that's, man, that whole thing going down, like it was interesting watching all that and seeing that shit come out. And you got some people, you know, some really powerful people in the sport going after these scumbags. So, and I hope they do. And I hope, honestly, the best way to take these people out is just don't support them anymore. I mean, people could talk shit as much as they want, but don't buy their DVDs. Don't have them out for seminars. How about local schools that I know? I won't name names, but local schools always having them. This guy, like anybody who like faces us or just does good against us, they want to have him through for a seminar. And then that dude turns out to being like someone who helped a guy who was like basically a pedophile get away and still be friends with him and allow him to come back to their school. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Could have had me come through for a seminar. I just smoke weed. That's it. You know, I have a family, you know, I don't do anything crazy like that. I actually compete in jiu-jitsu. When I competed in jiu-jitsu, I actually tried to submit the guy. So, and I'm not trying to sound like butthurt. I mean, I'm happy for whoever gets the shine, but those guys just straight up don't deserve it because they're not good people. And like I said, just you know, watch out in your own personal life. If I could give you any advice, if you even want to listen to me, but if you're listening to the podcast, maybe you want to listen to me. In your own personal life, go out there and just watch out the people who are always the most honorable guy. Like, you know, because I remember when I was a kid too, like I used to look up to a lot of karate instructors. And, you know, one time we went on a trip to Florida and everybody went. It was the first time I was like, I think I just turned 18 and I went on a trip to Florida to compete in a NAGA tournament. I saw some of all the old, like a lot of the older senseis, like dudes cheating on their wives and like guys fist fighting dudes, which fist fighting's cool, you know what I mean? But they were like, you know, someone said some racist shit or whatever, and I like completely lost respect for them. And that was the time when I realized that just because you're a black belt or you're a sensei or you're a CEO of a company or, you know, you're Dr. Fauci or somebody, you could still be a fucking asshole. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. What else is new? So that's kind of what I have to say about that. I know people are kind of waiting to hear about that. So, another one people wanted me to drop in on. Shout out to Sam McCall and the Emerald City Invitational. That shit was pretty gangster. We had our qualifier at the finishers tournament for that, and then the ECI went down in Atlantic City. I couldn't go. I was home watching with my son. But a lot of people wanted me to speak on the Gianni Grippo leg lock that he threw on my boy Ellis. And here comes some more shots fired if you want to cue this up. But I think Gianni Grippo's a dickhead for doing that, honestly. And I wouldn't mind saying something to his face when I saw him. Because that guy's been training martial arts since he's a little kid. Like literally a little kid. And you know, he's changed schools and stuff like that. And I'll leave that up to your imagination on why. And, you know, he's really good. Like I've rolled with him multiple times and he's, you know, I've never gotten anything on him. He's beaten me pretty handily. But again, that doesn't mean he's a good person. And I think Ellis was a little bit getting on his legs a little bit and he was getting a little frustrated. And he whipped a heel hook as hard as he could with no leg control and injured Ellis. I mean, he knew Afterwards, I think he said some shit like, "Oh, I didn't know I was going to injure him." Bullshit, dude. Come on. You're a fucking black belt under Marcelo, dude. You've been doing training forever. Don't act stupid. You know, maybe that guy, he might have some type of issues or some type of problems or something like that to where he would go and do something like that. But that reminds me, you know what that reminded me of? Like, it reminded me of when we were kids, my cousin just getting mad when we were playing baseball and then him just taking the bat and then throwing it on the roof of the house. Like, or not my cousin, my brother, like one of my brothers did that. And I remember same thing. I remember like a couple kids would be like that. Like we'd be playing basketball and if they start getting beat, they just start fouling real hard. You know what I mean? Or like if they start losing the game, like this one dude we used to play softball with, if we start losing the game, he would like take the softball and like throw it out into the fucking parking lot at the thing.
You know what was big for that is playing video games and the person just turns the fucking Nintendo off.
Yeah. Classic.
That shit used to drive me nuts. They'd reset or they'd fucking slam the floor and the Nintendo would freeze up.
Yeah, or one time I was playing in a Madden tournament. Some guy challenged me to Madden back in the day, and I was winning. And then his cousin like went in the basement of the house we were at, and I was about to win like $200, and the guy killed the power. Like he turned the power off to the whole house, and they acted like the power went out. And I was like, dude, my ass. It's summer. There's no thunderstorms. Kiss my ass. So that's exactly, you know, he might tell you no, and he might say that I'm a jerk off, but I don't really give a shit. I'm on a roll today. So Johnny Grippo, I think you're a fucking dickhead for doing that because you purposely injured a guy on purpose. And I think that you were frustrated with how that match was going. And you saw now Ellis will admit he made a mistake, but you know, nobody rips a submission like that. That'd be like taking because wasn't even like a legit. I mean, it was a submission. I mean, he hurt the guy. Maybe in an MMA fight, you would do shit like that. But in a jiu-jitsu tournament, everybody like, "Oh, you don't understand, Zach. That was a 10 grand tournament." Oh, yeah? It says all the guys who have never been in a fucking 10 grand tournament. So how would you know, you stupid ass? I seen people like you get hurt in a fucking blue belt tournament, letting your heel explode, and you have no insurance. Like, yeah, no shit, it was a 10 grand tournament. You don't know what it's like, you know? I've been in tournaments, not for maybe I wasn't in one for 10 grand, but I've been around a lot of people trying to win 20 grand. And I've been in tournaments before half of these guys were even fucking born. So to me, that's an asshole move. Okay. Because you hurt him. You hurt the guy. So if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. But then you might have guys like me giving you shit, you know, and if you think I'm a douchebag for it, then go fuck yourself. So that's how I feel. What else? The next finishers tournament, we're looking to run like a, I know, sorry guys, I'm on a roll, but I just had to get that shit off my chest. A lot of people have been asking me about it, but we're gonna run like a team tournament, like a duels, like a 10th Planet duels tournament, where we take all the local East Coast 10 planets, and if anybody else, maybe I'll ask some of the other guys if they want to send anybody up or send a team, and then we'll have like 4 teams, and then it'll just be a whole bunch of matches, and then eventually we'll do one for everybody, where it's like a whole like different teams from different schools, and then we'll do it for money. But we want to do one like real quick. I think we'll call it Team 10 Planet East Coast Duels. That's what I think we're going to call it. By the way, hey, do you guys like my glasses?
Gangster.
Yeah, they are. They
remind me of the villain from Snatch.
No, yeah, that was a good one. I just keep going on Amazon and buying like $10 sunglasses or like $15 sunglasses because I keep trashing them. So it's really difficult to, you know, keep them because I sit on them or lose them or whatever. And then because people are like, "Oh, why don't you buy like some Gucci shades?" Like my boy Michael Sears from Who's Number One. I'm like, I can't. Hollywood Mike. I can't buy the expensive ones because I just break them. You know what I mean? Just break them too much. But what I did do is I went on, I think it was called Super 7. Someone sent it to me, and I just bought some action figures. I just keep buying action figures. So now I got Blanca. I got a Blanca action figure from Street Fighter. I got a Mo Sizlak that I pre-ordered, and it comes with a whole bunch of stuff too. It comes with some cool accessories, like the phone that Bart used to prank him on all the time. I got that. I got who else did I get? Oh, and I got a Michelangelo one, you know, and they're like cool action figures. I love action figures. I don't know why. I got a few behind me here. Who do I got here? Bret the Hitman Hart, $1 Million Man, and then I have this guy, which one of my uncles made me. It's supposed to be me, so that's pretty funny. I'm way more jacked than the action figure. which usually you are. So I want to get all my old wrestling ones. I got to get out and like put in I got the old ring and stuff. Oh yeah, the ring is here, isn't it? Yeah, the wrestling ring is here somewhere, so I gotta, I'll get that going too, and I want to have like a display. Like we're gonna change up. One of the cool things about doing this podcast, and me and Mike were talking about, is like the backgrounds of it. People like already, I got hit up like, yo, what kind of cigars are in that cigar thing? So people like that. Yeah, Preet got me that. Shout out to Preet. But we're gonna move some stuff around. I got to get a new chair and everything eventually, and I think it'll be pretty cool because we get to like kind of figure out how to do this. How to make this good. And why would I do it anywhere else but my own office?
Because you could even like move it into that corner.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the shot would be back here, and then you'd be able to have one. You could put 2 chairs, and then even bring one person on if you want.
Exactly.
But you could. Eventually. I mean, this is like, it's funny. It's weird watching like Shab and those other podcasts. This is all the bigger their studios are.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably. I
got like those office warehouses or whatever.
Exactly.
Shab
yeah.
did.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because like when I first went to BJJ Fanatics to film some DVDs. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to buy my DVDs, they're on BJJ Fanatics. But when me and JM first went there, we were thinking we were going to like a dojo or like a warehouse. You walk in just full of mats or something. Turns out it was just office buildings. And they just rent an office somewhere, and you just go into one room, and it's just, they have the corner of the office is just wall pads and mats. And then they just have a camera set up there at all times, But shout out to Quentin too, Quentin Fernandez. He's going with us. He's actually going to be going with us to the Who's Number One in Austin coming up. Grace Grace is in the division. Thor is in the division out there. It's going to be crazy. I get to it's going to be Wednesday to Monday. I'm going to be in Austin, Texas. So if anybody wants any private lessons out there, or if anybody wants to train with us, holla at your boy. Anybody wants to take me out for some barbecue, you can hit me up for that too. I will be going out to dinner out there a bunch because it's pretty much what I do. Like everyone's like, what do you do when you're on these trips? I'm like, basically we wake up, we find coffee. A lot of times it's hard because you never know where they put us. Like because of the Delta, Lambda, Beta, Keta, Beta, Mita, Phi, Mongoose, Chrysler variant, they might only have the Starbucks open for an hour and a half at like a weird time. Like every time I went to the Starbucks closed. So hopefully that shit is open. Or I'm going to have to start traveling with the espresso machine. That's the only way I could do it. Like the espresso machine is like my, what do they call those pets when you get to bring your pet along on the trip? Like I'll just buy a seat on the plane for my espresso machine.
What do they call that? What are those pets called? They're like stress,
emotional,
anxiety, or whatever.
Yeah, this is my emotional anxiety friend that I need, and it's just an espresso machine, and it just makes lattes, and I need that because regular coffee blows. And man, Austin's crazy, dude. Like me and Renee were walking around in Austin last time, like later on at night, and dude, you want to talk about crazy people? Like when you think of Texas, you don't think of that. Like I know Austin got weird, but dang, man, shit is weird in Austin, dude. It's definitely weird. People are like, oh, you know what? I really like Portland. I'm like, that place is on fire. Why would I ever go to Portland?
Wanting to go to Turkey right now.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know where a good place is? Afghanistan. I don't want to go anywhere besides Texas. Even though Austin's kind of weird, I'm not really going anywhere. Texas or Florida. That's it. Other than that, I just have no business in any other state. Maybe Vermont. Places on the East Coast, but New York, get the fuck out of here. Jersey, get the fuck out of here. Los Angeles, get the fuck out of here. Portland, get the fuck out of here. Chicago, get the fuck out of here. And shout out to my boys out in Chicago, Omar and all them, but they're not actually
Chi-town, baby, Chi-town.
They're not actually in Chirac. They're like in Lombard, which is like a little bit farther away. That's what they call it, though. Chirac, It's because it is, dude. It's fucking like they're like, oh man, we got to watch out. We got to save these 5 people from dying from coronavirus. And then you're like, oh, let's check out what's going on in the news. 64 people shot over the weekend in, Chicago. And then they're like, well, the real problem here is coronavirus and white supremacy. But yet people are just shooting each other nonstop in fucking Chicago. That makes a whole lot of sense. So I know I'm on a roll here. I'm probably getting canceled. This might be my last podcast. But no, it's all good. Dude, it's all good. I'm not saying anything. The problem is I'm not saying anything that isn't true. All right. And that's the thing. Like I'm not making shit up. I'm just saying what's in my heart, dude. And some things make me mad. And I feel like there's a lot of guys out there trying to be like Mr. White Knight and I'm going to come in for a savior and stuff. I just get mad when shit ain't fair or it ain't true, or you don't just, you know what I mean? Like not true, like just as a fact, but true is like, you're not, I can't even explain. It's hard to explain. You're not virtuous, like some of the stuff, like, I'm not perfect, but like I said, like, and I won't blow this person's spot up either, but someone said to us one time, they're like, when I was with this former crew of people, like, I knew that they did bad and weird things behind everyone's back, but to your face though, I only drink water and I say my prayers and I eat my vitamins and, Jesus over everything. And, they just that whole route. Right. But then when you see them behind closed doors, they're drinking, they're talking shit at their wife, like they don't have a relationship with their kids, like all these weird things, you know what I mean? But they're that's who everybody wants to be like, oh, I love that guy, But then what happened was people we know were with a crew like that. And then when it came to us, it was like, getting used to, because, I'm a little abrasive at times and I will say what I feel. And then you got JM. Everybody knows JM. He's, the yin to my, or the yang to my yin. And, you don't want to get on his wrong side or ask him a fucking question that's stupid, because he'll kill you. You know what I mean? And he'll freak on you. And like, he was telling me the other day, he came in and there was a whole bunch of shit going on. He was all pissed off and me and him were going back and forth on it. And, things we got to fix. So it's like me and him. And then on top of us, you got Eddie Bravo, who's, Alex Jones's friend, and he believes the earth is flat and, all this other shit's going on. So like, it's a kind of a getting used to if you go from like, it's like going from Catholic school to public school. You're like, whoa, this is different. You can wear whatever you want here. You can curse. They don't give a shit whether you even do anything. They just, that's kind of, but obviously we care, but, it was getting used to it. And they said, I've had a lot of people over the years say, when I was with these other people, they were, you could tell they were fake. But then when we got to training with you guys and got to know you guys, we know that you're a little crazy. You may say some stuff that's a little outlandish and you might have a different style or a different way about going about things. But the fact of the matter is we're not scumbags, and we're true to who we are, and we don't lie about anything. And we pretty much wear our sleeves, or what does that say? You wear your heart on your sleeve or whatever. Everyone knows what we're about. Like someone's not going to be like, wait a minute, Zach smokes weed. What? And then leave the school. Or not going to be like, wait a minute, JM does this, or Eddie Bravo. Wait a minute, Eddie Bravo. You know what I mean? They know, what you're getting. You know what to expect with us. We're not going to do any weird shit. We may say some interesting things that you may not believe with, or we might, have opinions on things that are a little bit, whatever, but we're never going to steer you wrong when it comes to training or just overall health or anything like that. Like, we're not going to put you in a weird position. We're not going to like, so that's kind of how I feel. And that's kind of where we've been this whole time. Like everyone knows about me. So like, if someone, needs to find out about me, they can find out real fast, what we're about and what we're like, and that's kind of why I think we attract the right type of people. One of my stepbrothers said to me one time back in the day, he was like, man, I did something, or I put something online or whatever. I said something. He was like, dang, like you might piss some people off with that one. And I was like, yeah, probably. He goes, yeah, but you know what the truth is though? You're only going to get 50% anyways. He's like, so there's, half of the people are going to hate you for these things and half of the people are going to like you for these things. And we'll take that half, the half that likes us, or the half that are going to be ride or die. The half that doesn't like us, probably some fake ass bitches anyways. Just kidding. But you know what I mean though. It's how it is. Look at the country. It's divided in half. You got all the people who voted for Trump. You know what I mean? That's millions of people. Then you got half the people voted for Biden. Then you got the other half still in their graves that voted for Biden. Someone said, put up a good one. Like, dude, for whatever political, thing you believe or whatever it is, I will say that the liberal left Democrats cannot meme. You have zero meme game. The Republicans and the right, dude, they can meme up a storm, son. Have you seen some of these memes about Biden? Dude, he's getting murdered. I know they had some good memes about Trump too, but a lot of it was like poking fun at him, but also laughing with him because he knew he was, you know what I mean? But the memes that they're coming up with now are hilarious, dude. There's some good ones. Like, you see the one thing where Biden did the interview and they're like, you know, we've all seen the interviewer's like, we've all seen the pictures of the people falling off the planes and trying to run on the tarmac and everything like that. And he's like, hey, man, he's like, that was 4 or 5 days ago. It's like, what? Well, we can't bring up old shit ever now? Oh, it was 4 or 5 days ago. It's beyond this tech. So people were putting up that one. There was another one I was thinking of that was really good too. It was I was sharing some of the the Pawn Stars. Yeah, those were good. Dude, Pawn Stars is hilarious. Yeah, it's like, we're going to need, because it was all the old stimulus stuff too. Like, hey, we're going to need, we need $2,000 stimulus check. He's like, best I can do is endless war.
And what was the one you were like, here's a spoon from 1930. I'll give you $10.
Yeah. He's like, this is an ancient samurai sword made by this special, famous samurai swordsman in Japan. And he is, it's 300 years old. And the guy's like, well, it is a 300-year-old sword. And it is true, but we'll give you $10 for it. You know what I mean? That was always when you were posting that stuff. Yeah, they were always the Pawn Stars memes are hilarious. I don't know why they're so funny to me, but they're like, yeah, here's the one like, oh, well, I'm trying to sell this old, I'm going to try to sell a set of rims. Or like what was it, like a zipper or something? I was like, I got a zipper here from the 1960s. It was on this special lunchbox. And he's like, oh, hold on 1 second. He goes, I don't know much about zippers from the 60s, but let me call my expert. He's an expert on zippers and accessories from the 1960s. They always have a guy. And what people don't understand is that guy is just there to come in and drive the price down. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all he is. Like, oh man, this is it. This is definitely a legit, this is a legit painting. And it's it's probably gonna estimate. And the guy does it like that. He doesn't have to look up any paper or anything. Hey, it's, I don't know, $5 to $10 grand. Guy's like, shit, dude, I wanted 30 grand for this. And the guy, and then what's the dude's name? I don't know any of the guy's names. The bald guy, Rick. Yeah, Rick Harrison. He'll be like, well, you heard the man. He said it was up to 10 grand. And, I got to sell it, and it's highly collectible, but it's hard to get rid of. So
I got to make 10 grand.
Yeah. He's like, and I got to make money, and I got to sit on it. So
I have a family.
I'll give you $500. And then they're like, fuck you. You ever see the people get pissed? You ever see like the outtakes that people get mad? There's been that. And then there have been people who have ripped them off too. Like people have totally ripped them off. They came in, they sold us some fake shit. Yeah. Rick Harrison. He's like, oh yeah. I'm trying to say, he's like, oh, so basically you got an $800 bag of meth. He's like, let me call my expert Chum Lee in here and see if that's a good deal.
Chum Lee. And then they like made that guy into a character.
Yeah. Well, they had
that was like right around Storage Wars. Remember that show where they like buy the
that was fake, right?
Yeah, 90% of it was.
What was the one guy? The one guy was a character, and he got famous for a while.
The guy with white hair.
He would didn't he say something like real long like?
Oh no, that was what was the one guy? It was like he yelled like auctioneer terms.
Yeah. He used to yell shit all the time or whatever.
He was like the villain of the show.
Yeah, because he would just go through and buy magic. He would come through with all this money.
Everybody with his big Texas money.
Dude, leave some Second Amendment for the rest of us, bro. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
And then he had like shitty apparel that just said "yup." Yeah, everybody down south bought it.
Yup.
Yeah. Anybody in the Carolinas bought that guy.
Yeah. I like merch. Dude, I'm going to go home and just watch a barrage of Storage Wars.
Dude, that was crazy. That was a crazy... Like, I'm glad I don't watch TV anymore. I'm glad I no longer watch stuff like that. That got out of control for... Like, cause you would just watch it because it would be one thing after another. Then you get into Bar Rescue to end the night. Yeah. Dude, I remember watching Sundays. They would run bar rescue marathons, and I'd be in my parents' basement with there's no fucking windows, and I'd be hung over and would just, let's go, pizza bites and John Taffer.
when I long time ago, I broke up with my ex, and I first when I lost everything purposely and started my life over from scratch. I was living in my buddy Big Steve's basement, and there was like 2 other guys there that were also living with Big Steve that were also starting their lives over. So it was an interesting time. So everybody was single, Big Steve including. So we would just go out to the bar every Saturday night, and we'd go over to Starters, and my boy Chris, who owns a Bayou, would be like, bartending, like, hey, what's up, man? What do you want? And I'd be like, I don't know, whatever. And he'd be like, all right, here's a Red Bull vodka double for nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's a $10 tip or whatever. And then 3 Red Bull and vodka doubles later and a couple of tequila shots, I'd be, wrecked out of my gourd. I'd get thrown down in a fight, lose my shoes. And then the next day we would just watch Bar Rescue all day.
Yep.
And dude, Bar Rescue, there was a horse in the fucking bar.
Get that horse out of here.
How about the pirate one where they're like, listen, this is the middle of fucking Chicago. No one cares about pirates.
Yeah, those people were real. Some of the stuff was staged. But those people were 100% real.
I think the parts that were staged, and I try to explain this to people too, I think the parts that were staged were the place was falling apart. And then I looked this up. What he used to do was he would partner with them, but it'd be a conditional partnership. Like he would put all this money into it, okay? And he would be like your 50-50 partner now of your bar to figure it out, to fix it. But he wouldn't keep it all. It would be like for 5 years, and you would have to do what they say and follow along, and he would kind of
It's crazy that people didn't.
Dude, that was the first thing that really gave me, watching Bar Rescue, whether part of it was fake or not, watching Bar Rescue is one of the things that gave me the confidence to go and do the finishers and have Finishers HQ and eventually, take chances, because I would watch this guy, and it might have been even the one where the horse was in the bar. And I remember John Taffer walks in, like the one guy's name was like, what was the guy's name? Like Swindler or whatever. Like his nickname was like, hey, Swindler.
It was like the girl's boyfriend who didn't know how to cook but ran the kitchen.
Yeah, that was always some shit. Yeah, but I'm talking about like it was like a college bar, and the one guy's name, instead of being Stifler, they called him Swindler or whatever. and Taffer's like, you guys are screwing this up. Hey, Swindler. He's like, how many shots did you have behind the bar? He's like, I don't know, 8 to 10. 8 to 10 shots. Get me out of here.
Shame on you.
Yeah, you're ruining the bar.
I like when the people were so stupid he'd threaten to leave. I've never put up with such stupidity in my life.
The chicken is raw.
The stuff that was staged in that is stuff 100% that goes on in kitchens. Like all the stuff that they do and they go through with like the scumbags in the back and like the freezers and the fucking dead mice, all that shit I've seen in actual fucking restaurants.
Oh, dude, McGrady's.
Yeah.
Remember McGrady's? I would be sitting at McGrady's. They'd be making the wings in the fryer or cooking the cheesesteak, and there'd be roaches running across the thing.
Yeah, that shit's all real.
I mean, it was still good. Food was still good there because you got to see the roaches. That's what made me feel comfortable.
If people actually saw what went on in kitchens, especially how little people wash their hands, shit like that.
That's why I never wash my hands, bro. I never wash my hands. Only if I like shit or piss on my hands. Other than that, I don't wash my hands. They're like, oh man, you have a son now. You need to wash your hands every day. Like when people have had kids, now I get it if they had like an immune compromised situation or whatever. People have had kids, and I'd gone over to their house, and they basically made me wear a fucking containment suit. I got to wash my hands 50 times. Hey, did you wash your hands? Bro, I've never made one person wash their hands when they hold my son. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not sick, it's fine. You got to get him some germs and stuff, or the second he, like, goes outside, he's going to get sick. You know what I mean?
A lot of the cross-contamination, like I've worked with people that don't understand that, like you can't touch like raw chicken and then like fucking like, it's crazy what some people do and what they, especially like, cause there's plenty of people that will put themselves in an opportunity to run a kitchen. They've never done it before. They have a little bit of money. It was their dream to cook. And then they get in there and they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I said that has given me the the confidence to go and run a business because, you know, John would sit him down and be like, they agreed to open up the books and bust open the books or whatever. And the guy's like, well,
$500,000 in debt.
Exactly. And they were like, the one guy's like, yeah, I took out a loan for $250,000 and, you know, that's all gone. And like,
the worst is when they would take their parents' money.
Right. Well, that's what this guy did. He had his parents.
I've cried to a couple episodes.
The guy had his parents remortgage their home to give him another $200,000.
And then all they wanted to do was just like get fucked up. You know what was another terrible one was there was the comedy club where the one guy was like a comedian.
Oh yeah,
he wanted to run his own comedy club, and then like he just kept putting himself on stage.
Yeah, and
it wasn't funny.
Exactly, and getting drunk and stuff.
Yeah,
like, you got to just know your lane. Like, but I would hear that, I'd be like, whoa, hold on, rewind that. I'm like, go back on the TiVo or whatever he had. That guy's over $450,000. That guy's $500,000 in debt. I was like, if that guy can get the amount, because I was like, at first I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get any money to run this business. But then you figure it out and you build it piece by piece.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and that is 100%. I'm so thankful no one's ever invested in this business.
Yeah.
No one's ever given me a large amount. And it's come, like I've had people offer, and I was up front and was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because I would owe people money right now.
I know, us too. Thank God we don't. Well, that's one of the reasons.
Once I started making money, they would, this guy gets 75%.
Why? Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why I don't do business with people like that, because we don't want to get stuck in a thing. And then even worse than owing someone money is someone else being like one of our parents walking in here and being like, why is there stuff on the floor?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I'd be like, dude, get out of here.
Yeah, I talked to somebody the other day, and I was telling about what I'm about to do with like the new cooking show and the new studio. And they were like, who's backing all this? And I was like, no one. No one's ever backed any of this. Well, I've done all of this broke.
Yeah, I'm doing good, and me and JM are both doing good, and the school's going great, so I'm super blessed with that. But a lot of people just, you know, they wonder, like, how the hell are these guys doing it? Like, how much they're like,
brick by brick.
I've had people ask me, like, how much, like, ridiculous things, like, how much money do you have?
Isn't that rude when people do that?
I just laugh it off now. I'm like, dude, you know. But that's why I won't give out. People think I'm being a dick because I won't give out information. They're like, well, how do you run your tournament? What?
Yeah, I'm done on that shit.
Yeah, what do you mean? How do you run
closed? Yeah, Taffer.
You got to pay. You got to pay me, dude. How do you run your kids' class?
And the other thing too is like, I don't have the time to baby step and walk somebody through how to do it. It's like, dude, first of all, you want me to explain to you what I've done in the last 20 fucking years.
Yeah. How much time is that going to waste?
Text message.
Yeah. How much time is that going to waste? Do some research. Even people hit me up like, hey man, what's your hookup on mats? And then I tell them Fuji mats, you know, and then I give them Patrick's email or whatever. But then some people be like, yo, how much do mats cost? I'm like, bro, you haven't done any research. First thing I would have done is I would have looked at the site and found how much mats cost. Then I would have hit the guy up who I think could get me a deal and say, hey, bro, are you still working for Fuji? And can you get deals? And I would have said, hell yeah, man, hit up Patrick. Anybody who goes through him gets a discount. You know, goes through me, that goes through him gets a discount. They get my discount. But they don't understand that just didn't happen overnight. That's a relationship that I built with this guy over years of doing business with him and promoting the brand. And you think I'm just going to give it to you? Like that. There was a good thing. There was a good one. I was like, you know, it was like this huge, you know, submarine or whatever. And then they called it, the submarine wasn't working. It was like this whole story. You got a, you know, Facebook story. And they called a guy in to come in and look at the submarine. And they call this guy and they say, hey, listen, it's, you know, he comes in like to do the job, you know, we're going to charge you not by the hour, I'm going to charge you by the project. And he came in there and he took a hammer and he just banged on the one thing and the propeller started. Now, this is obviously a made up story, you know what I mean? But this is just to show people the idea. And I'm sure I'm jumbling up right now. And then he took one hammer and hit it and then he charged him for like the whole project. And guy's like, well, I was going to pay someone for like 8 hours to work on this and I would have paid him whatever, but you did the job in 5 minutes. You know, you only get paid for 5 minutes. And he was like, that's where you're wrong. I have years and years and years of experience in the matter that I know where to bring one hammer and hit it once to make it work. So I don't get paid for the 5 minutes. I get paid for the years of experience. And now some people don't believe in that, but I do, right? Because like when I teach someone a move or like JM or Thor, someone teach someone a move, they don't understand. I didn't just find that move. I had to go all across the country. I had to take years and years off my body, beat myself into shreds to be able to figure this shit out. And you get it right from me. Now that's like, you got to skip the line. You know what I mean? So that's why we charge so much. Like if I charge $50 a month, I mean, nobody would take it seriously. You got to pay us more because we have the experience. When we didn't have the experience, we couldn't charge. But now that we have the experience, we can charge. Like, I'm streamlining all this stuff for you. I have the best instructors I can get here. I got Zach Makovsky here. JM is a beast. You know, we got Ricky Nuno's professional boxer. We got Sid, who's like the next up and coming kid teaching kids class. You know, we got Devin's a black belt now. We got Tom. These guys have been teaching jiu-jitsu forever, you know? So now we all get paid for the experience. You know, we get paid for all this work we put in. We don't just get paid for the, you know, thing I show you right now. Like, you don't understand. And that's why we get so hard on guys coming to advanced class and stuff like that. It's like, dude, people have already put in a lot of work here, man. Unfortunately, you have to get in line like everybody else. Now, this is something that I got in line for, you know, to get good when I was 16 years old. I'm 38. So, yeah, I got experience in this. You're going to have to listen to us. And bottom line is, it's our place and we get to choose how we want to run it. Like, if you don't like it, you can go to one of the other schools. That's fine, you know, but most of the people, like I said, we got that 50% that are training with us. And man, I can't thank them enough, man. It's awesome having this whole thing, man. I feel super blessed. I know I always kind of end the podcast like this anyways. I know I talk a lot of shit, but I mean, man, my life is so awesome right now. It's busy, it's crazy, and I love it, man. I love the people I get to work with, like you, Mike, and all the guys, and just the different things that I've been able to do over the years. Now I have a family. My wife just quit her job. I mean, who else gets to just be home every day with their son and wife and wake up and you know, play with them, you know what I mean? Like, take them out, and you know, I wake up with them, and you know, if she needs a nap, we could switch off. And it's like, not many people get to do that. I know a lot of people who have you know, had a kid and they had to go right back to work. Like, how much does that suck? You know what I mean? So like, literally days after they had a child, I had to go back to work. Like, you know, my wife's going to be home. We're working on a coffee shop. So, man, we got a lot of cool stuff going on. So let me just hit the sponsors real quick. Shout out to Ted Park from Armbar Club. Armbar Club is now one of the exclusive sponsors of not only this podcast, but the Silent Assassin, Grace Gundrum. And like I said, she's going to battle September 25th and 26th in Austin, Texas. That's not Boston, Texas. That's Austin, Texas. And so shout out to Armbar Club. Go on armbarclub.com. Rubber Guard Assassins. Really want to thank Rubber Guard Assassins. They actually sent me, when I had my son, he sent me it's this little turtle. And the turtle looks stoned, like it's got the eyes, like, you know, the sleepy turtle or whatever. And it's got a blue light on it. And you press the one button, and it puts like so it's when it's dark in my son's room at night when we're trying to get him to bed, and it puts like a cool like thing on the wall, and then it has like a couple different sounds where it's like, yeah, babies love that. Yeah, I like it too. I like the fan, and then we have a little noise machine, but sometimes we'll do that because he likes the lights, and he's like, oh, and then he falls asleep. So thank you for that. So that came from Amazon. I've gotten also too, anyone listens to this that's bought me and my wife a present for my son and just had it shipped to Amazon and didn't put a note in it, let me know. I got a mug, I got a bag, a duty bag. It's like a dad bag for kids. Like, I got all this cool stuff. I got a mug that says you know, lovely family on it. It's a picture of me. Obviously it's a cartoon, but it's like a bald guy with a wife and a kid. I'm like, how did they know? So whoever sent that to me, thank you so much. I don't know who it was, but tell me so I can you know, let you know, because it's really cool. And so that's shout out to Rubber Guard Assassins. He actually put a note in it, and it said something. It was cool. I opened it up. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it said, hey, Lorenzo, you know, just to let you know, future champions like yourself need really good sleep. So hope this helps. Thanks, Rubber Guard Assassin. So you guys are the man. And he has a kid too, which is really dope. So kind of like going back and forth on that. Sabrachi, I was just talking to him not too long ago. I know he's getting his shit together. You know, his son Gio's going to come back to jiu-jitsu soon, which is cool. I want to get my wife like one of those chains that says my son's name, Lorenzo, on it, but not too gaudy, not like super Italian. but like just something nice. So I want to get that. And then did I miss anybody yet? Who did I say? Oh, Fuji Mats, obviously you guys know that. Armbar Club, Cruise Combat, that's our main sponsor. If you're looking for any kind of gear, custom stuff, hit up Cruise Combat. If you're looking for any like tank tops, like I'm rocking the Finishers Gun Club right now, Armbar Club, they made the design for me, but these were printed by Axelrad, so you can always talk to Mike, or you can just hit me up. I'll send you over to him, and you can get your gear printed too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're going to keep pumping them out and doing them. If you guys have any questions or you have any jiu-jitsu stuff or anything you want me to cover, let me know, because I love talking MMA and jiu-jitsu, and I love going over stuff. But a lot of times I don't want to just come in here and just talk about, just random shit. I'd rather have people ask me questions and then I can answer them on the show too. So shout out to Mike for doing this. Appreciate all you guys. And let's see, what's going on this weekend? Nothing. I think there's a UFC. And then I think the rest of August we're off, but then September, as always, the dojo gets all packed up. So if you're looking to come train, get in here now, finishersmma.com, and we're out.